Hey there, I'm Chris, judge on Bushcraft USA, and this is my take on the Bearded Bladeworks Patriot. Sean from Bearded Bladeworks chose a half dozen forum members to spend some time with his Patriot knife, each of us getting 2 weeks and then having to pass it on. So the Patriot is 5/32 of an inch thick, 1084 steel with a 3.5 inch blade, a 3 3/4 inch handle. The blade has a high grind, and that actually helps keep this stubby, thick little blade a decent slicer. The little knife is almost all clip point, giving it a unique look and really does harken back to the Bowie style that inspired Sean to build this knife. The scales on the Passaround knife are a brown G10 with black liners secured with loveless bolts. The blade arrived razor sharp and in a well cared for condition. Sadly, it also arrived a couple of hours after I'd left for a camping trip, so it became my EDC knife once I got back, and it just did whatever I use a knife for daily. As it turns out, because we heat with wood, most of what I use my daily knife for is making kindling. So every night I sit down and make kindling for the next morning. For the first few days, that's really all this knife did. That was make kindling and shavings and feather sticks. And this is actually when I realized I have a preference for a thickish blade. It just makes fire prep a little bit easier to me. The flat grind on the little knife just plain works good. It was easy to control and would bite deep for thick shavings and then could just sweep down the wood, making some wispy curls. So 5 days of shaving wood and then playoff weekend comes. That put the Patriots to use making some salami and cheese stuff for game day snacks. No stropping, just pulled from the sheath, and that flat grind again was just showing off. At 5/32, this is a relatively thick blade, but I could still slice that meat paper thin. At work and home, daily chores, such as breaking down cardboard or even skinning coax cable, then coming home, using it as a paring knife for dinner prep, followed by more kindling work, the Patriot just liked to eat. So my conclusion, I thought build quality was very good. The hand-stitched leather sheath was also very good quality, and honestly, for the price Sean typically asks for these little knives, be well worth it. So what's wrong with it, you ask? Well, depends on you. I was surprised that the wife didn't care for it. I thought she'd dig it because it was a smaller knife. But she didn't care for the smoothness of the G10 scales, and while I thought that would be a concern for me, it turned out to be a non-issue. She also didn't care for the weight of it. And it wasn't until she pointed it out that I realized how much gravity this little knife had for its size. I never felt the weight to be an issue, though, and I actually liked it. But again, I apparently prefer a thicker and heavier knife, something a little more substantial in my hand. The flat grind allows the knife to behave like a thinner blade. And the design, once again, basically it's almost all clip point. It's almost like he took the end of a Bowie knife and put a handle on it. And it really keeps the knife usable. It was easy to forget I was carrying the Patriot. Even the folks at REI, I got to show it off there because I forgot I had it on when we went into town. The sheath rode real nicely, and while heavy for its size, the truth is you probably carry more weight and change at any given time. The handle never gave me any hot spots or anything while working with it, even though it's technically too small for my hand. I'm no interwebs YouTube knife expert. I have a far higher tolerance for unusual knives and other tools, with my favorite knife being universally controversial. It's a very good small knife, and I wouldn't lament its existence if it was the only knife I had, as it could be made to work a little bigger than it is. In the end, like many of the other guys, I hated to pass it on and was tempted to send a check instead of returning this knife. So if you're looking for a small knife, give it a go. For any more information, check in the description. I've got links to the Passaround thread, Bearded Bladeworks, Bushcraft USA, and even my Facebook page. Thanks for watching.